Good morning. Welcome to another YouTube video. My name is Maurice and I'm an airline pilot. And in this video, I'm going to be taking you guys through a 3-day trip that I happened to pick up on the trade board on my days off. So if you guys don't know, I get a certain hourly minimum guarantee, and anything that I do on my days off goes above that guarantee. Basically, the trade board can find trips that pilots don't want, or they want to drop a part of the trip. So for example, if there's a pilot that wants to drop 3 days off of a 4-day trip and they just want to fly one of them, like what happened on the trip that I just picked up right now, you can just request it, pick it up, and take it from them because they don't want it anymore. Or you can swap it. So if you have a trip that starts on the 1st and you want one that starts on the 10th, and you agree with the other pilot that you guys want to switch, you can do that as well. So it's called swapping. So there's a lot of options when it comes to changing trips and changing your schedule. So I'm learning all that stuff right now, learning it all. The thing about this trip that I picked up is that it's in a different base. So it's gonna be my first time picking up anything in a different base. I hear some people are like, oh, don't do that. It's annoying to have to commute, but I'm trying it right now. My report time in Charlotte is 2 p.m. and it's like 6 o'clock right now. That's the one thing. I have to make sure that I can commute and be able to get there on time, or else I'm screwed. There's 2 flights that get there before the report time. So I'm taking the really early one first. If that one fails, I can't get on, I'll have a backup. So today is a 3-legger. We got Charlotte to Melbourne, Melbourne back to Charlotte, then Charlotte to GSP. I think it's Gulfport. And I'm gonna be doing a layover there. It's a short one, 12 hours. Geez, I just checked the priority list. There's 2 other jump seaters that work for that airline. So it's not a good thing. Oh my gosh, lucky I got the jump seat. All right, so I made it on the jump seat. There was 1 spot available, so I made it. But what's funny is that I get to the jump seat and I'm like, hey, my name is Maurice and I'd like to get a jump seat. And the FO is the same guy that sat in our jump seat yesterday. So we gave him a ride and now he's gonna give me a ride. He's the FO, so it's pretty funny. I was like, hey, you don't mind if I get a ride with you? And he looks back and he's like, no way. So it was pretty cool. So I made it on the flight and we're now going to Charlotte. Wow, this is a lot more spacious than the CRJ. Yeah. All right, well, I made it to Charlotte in one piece. And now, bad part is I gotta wait 5 hours for my trip to actually start. That's the thing about commuting into a trip that's not in your base. Sometimes stuff like this tends to happen. You have to wait super long, but it is what it is. I'll wait 5 hours. I have time to set up my 401k and stuff, study a little bit, and get ready for the flight in 5 hours. All right, finally the wait is over. Heading over to the gate. Let's go to Melbourne. From Charlotte over to Melbourne went pretty nice. We did have to do a little bit of cell dodging on the way there, but we made it in one piece in Melbourne. Perfect timing. We just avoided all of that stuff. And it was a quick and easy flight from Melbourne back to Charlotte. All right, we're going to South Carolina. This was the quickest flight I've ever done in the airlines. It was like 15 minutes of flight time. I think we spent more time taxiing in Charlotte than flying. And we made it to Greensville, South Carolina. All right, room check. Pretty nice room. All right, so quick recap of the first day of the trip. It was a 3-legger today. First 2 legs was taken by the captain. First one was Charlotte over to Melbourne. We had to maneuver around some cells that were around Melbourne. Typical Florida weather. It was really cool flying into Melbourne because the last time I've flown into Melbourne was in a Cessna 172. I used to do a lot of cross countries from Daytona to Melbourne, Melbourne back, all that stuff. So after that, it was Melbourne back to Charlotte. That was also flown by the captain. Captain buttered that landing back to Charlotte. Then the last leg was mine. That was Charlotte to GSP. That was a 13-minute actual flight time. So 13 minutes of flight time. super quick. Everything was super quick pace. I actually briefed a lot of the stuff on the ground to get ahead. If it's a really short flight like that, briefing on the ground makes everything a lot quicker and a lot more efficient. So we briefed it on the ground. We pretty much knew what runway we were gonna land on, and I landed it, smooth touchdown, and went over to the gate. Now we're here at the hotel. Good morning. It's day 2 of the 3-day. We got a 3-legger today. First one is GSP over to DC, DC to Charlotte, and then Charlotte to Lexington. And that's gonna be it for today. I have about an hour and a half, 2 hours, so before I have to start getting ready. So I'm gonna go head over to the gym. All right, well, not that good, but it'll have to work. Today was a back day. We started off with pull-ups for a 4x15, and then we went straight into dumbbell single arm rows. That was a 4x12. Did some dumbbell rows for 4x15, and then the last exercise I did was just bicep curls, 4x12. It's been a while since I fasted, so I'm not gonna eat anything until probably 2 p.m. and I'll probably grab something at the airport or wherever I'm at that time. And right now, just gonna take a shower. I'm all sweaty and stuff. Gotta make sure I'm all clean. You don't want to be stinky in the cockpit. Taking a shower and getting ready to meet the crew downstairs at the van at 9:30. So I still have 40 minutes to spare. All right, all set up. Let's go fly. Plane just arrived. All right, now we're going to DC. This is our flight over to DC. There was some nasty weather to the right of us, but we made it out right in time. So now I'm reviewing the flight plan. Going DC to Charlotte. We gotta see what we're gonna do with that weather over there. Okay, second leg. I'm fueled up. I got food in me. I'm ready. And we're now going to Charlotte. This is the weather going to Charlotte. As you can see, not very good, but we just diverted to the west and made it in no problem, just a little bit bumpy. The last leg over to Lexington, we did the JoJo departure, and there was no weather in our way this time. So finally arrived to my hotel room in Lexington, Kentucky. It was a 3-legger, another 3-legger today. First leg was me, GSP over to DCA, and I shot the River 19 visual in there. Love doing that, never gets old. The next 2 were the captain's legs, so the captain did DC to Charlotte, and then Charlotte here into Lexington. So now I have a really short layover, it's just 12 hours. I may walk outside a little bit, try to grab something to eat, maybe bring something on the flight for tomorrow, which is a 3-legger. Another 3-legger tomorrow, where I end up in Charlotte. And if it all goes well, I land in Charlotte at 2:30, and there's a flight to get me back home at 4:30. So if I can make it, it'll be the cherry on top of this trip. So far, the trip's going awesome. All right, so now I'm walking the streets of Lexington, Kentucky, trying to find some food. Probably grab a Chipotle, bring in tomorrow's flight. Something easy, quick. The 747 burger from McDonald's. It's a cheat day today, so it's okay. So I'm gonna eat this today, go to Chipotle, grab food, put it in my bag, eat that for tomorrow. All right, I'm all set to go. Got my Chipotle ready for tomorrow. I gotta wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning for a 5:30 van time. I get ready pretty quick, so that's no problem. Gotta go to sleep at 9 o'clock to get my 8 hours. So that's what I'm about to head over to the hotel to do. And that's it. See you guys tomorrow. Good morning. It's 5 o'clock in the morning right now, and today is day 3 of the 3-day, last day. And we have our first leg is Lexington to Charlotte. Then we got Charlotte to XNA, which is Arkansas. Then Arkansas back to Charlotte, and I'm done with the trip. I arrive back to Charlotte at 2:30, and I'm gonna try to catch a flight at 4:30 to go back home. If I can do that, it'll be just perfect. Let's go to Charlotte. First leg was Lexington over to Charlotte, and then the second one was Charlotte to XNA. XNA right back to Charlotte, and today was definitely the most interesting day of flying I've ever had in this airline, because we had an MEL that required us to leave the gear down for about 10 minutes after takeoff, and that felt so weird to do in a jet. All right, now I gotta see if I can commute back to Florida. Hopefully there's enough spots for me. And I made it on. All right, today was a long day, but we finally made it back home. Quick recap. The first leg was me. It was Lexington to Charlotte. And then the second leg was also me, Charlotte to Arkansas. And pretty crazy because we had a MEL that required us to have the gear down for the first 10 minutes after takeoff. We had to fly slower. So that was really interesting. We ended the trip in Charlotte at 2:30 and I was supposed to catch a commute flight to go back home that was boarding at 4 p.m. But it ended up being postponed and delayed until 7 p.m. because they were fixing the tires apparently. So I got back here in Florida super late, but I'm here. That's all that matters. And that's the end of the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoy, please like, comment, subscribe, all of that. And let me know what you guys want to see on the next one. And that's it. See you guys.